Good morning. I'm Louise Michelle Bomber and I'm a specialist teacher, therapist and a published author. And I'm going to be here every Wednesday at 10:30 in order to support you through this season. This is especially for adoptive parents, foster carers and kinship carers who are parenting those who've already experienced trauma before all of this kicked in, this collective community trauma that we're all going through right now. So I just want to be your fellow traveller to support you through this time. There's no reason why anyone should feel alone or isolated during this time. So that is my passion, I suppose, that we come out stronger as a result of all of this. And what we're going to be doing is looking at how we can ground our bodies and our minds, not just for us as the adults, but for the whole of our families, and also how we can go deeper with one another and use this as an opportunity to strengthen the bonds of attachment. That is my passion, that we come out of this ready to face anything after we've been through this time. So I just wanted to start off by just thinking about what is the very essence of trauma: powerlessness. And I don't know what happens to your body when you're feeling powerless, but our children are very familiar with this whole territory of powerlessness. And right now, for many of us, this might be our first experience of really feeling powerless. But what happens to your body when you turn on the news and you listen to the news? Have you noticed what happens to your posture? Have you noticed what happens when you're worrying about something to your posture? What's happening right now in your posture? Are you sitting closed in or are you sitting open? It's just really interesting to be curious about what is happening in our bodies at this time. And something I just want to introduce you to is some interesting work by Amy Cuddy. I don't know if you've come across her work, but she's a social psychologist and she's come up with this idea of power posing, which I'm going to introduce you to a little bit of it now. But you can find out more about her on YouTube and just find out about her work, which, yeah, there's lots on there to find. That she's written a couple of TED Talks and she's got some other little clips on there as well. But she talks about low power posing when we go smaller within ourselves, and we just kind of bring our whole body in and we're quite hunched up. And she talks about high power posing when we're standing tall and we seem assertive and confident. And she has done some interesting work and has discovered that if we can change our posture into using more high power posing for at least 2 minutes, it has a massive impact on your feelings, on your thoughts, and even on the way you behave, in terms of how you behave as an individual and also how others receive you around you. So I suppose I just wanted to kind of experiment with this today and over this next week, if you're up for this. Maybe we could experiment together within our families or on our own and just kind of develop some power posing. Now she's got this famous one called the Wonder Woman, so obviously I can't really do it here because I'm just sitting down, but you kind of get the idea that you just have to sort of stand as if you are Wonder Woman, or stand as if you are Batman or Superman, or you can even just think about standing as absolutely as wide and as big as you possibly can, or as tall as you possibly can. Just trying to make your body open up, and doing that for 2 minutes. Do you think you could give that a go? Maybe you could press pause and give that a go. I'm just going to keep talking. But I think it would be really helpful just to see what a difference that might make for our whole demeanour, but particularly for how we feel about our day, how we feel about what we're about to do, what we're about to go into. So maybe let's just press the pause button every now and then over this next week and engage in some power posing. Another thing that I'd just like to introduce us to, I don't know if you've come across the book called Alex and the Scary Things by Melissa Moses, but it's a lovely storybook, particularly for those children who are younger. I'd say you could probably use it up to the age of 11 maybe. But there's a really good technique in there called 5-4-3-2-1, which I use a lot in my work. And I've used it for myself as well, to be honest, when I've needed to ground myself and just get myself really in the present, in the here and now. And it goes like this. Basically, look around your room right now and just tell me 5 things that you can see. So I'm going to tell you what I can see. So I can see a lamp, I can see a phone, I can see books, I can see photographs, I can see my DVDs, and then 4 things you can feel. So what can you actually feel? So I can feel my cardigan on my arm, I can feel my hands, which are quite cool right now because the temperature has changed today. I can feel my watch on my wrist. I can feel lovely soft cushions behind me. I can feel my feet on the floor, on the rug. 3 things that you can hear. I can hear a tap. I can hear the wind. The wind has started up here in Brighton. I can hear some people talking in the distance as they're walking along the pavement. 2 things you can smell. Well, I can smell my lovely perfume that I put on this morning. I can also smell some dust, which means I need to do some cleaning later, which is not good. And then 1 thing about you. So 1 thing about me, I really love salsa dancing. As soon as I hear the music, I love it. I could just dance. So just a couple of ideas there to help you to ground your bodies and your minds. So give it a go. Just see whether it makes any difference for you. Try it out in your family. Let's experiment together. Okay, so now let's just think about connecting and relating. Now, I just think this is an amazing opportunity for us to really see each other really well during this season. There's another really good book that's come out more recently by Daniel Siegel called The Power of Showing Up, and it's a really good book. And one of the key ideas that he discusses in the book is about being seen. And I think we all know that behaviour is communication. We know that, don't we? We know that communication isn't just words, that it is far more than words, particularly with our children. And I think at this season it would be really, really important to show those around us, adults and children alike, that we can really see them. So rather than saying things like, I need you to calm down right now, which we could easily do in moments of impatience or frustration, I know that's me sometimes, rather than saying that, to try and press a pause button and to just literally think, what is this person trying to communicate to me right now? What is the feeling that they're trying to convey? And then to express that feeling by matching their affect. For example, you're letting me know you're feeling so frustrated right now. You really want to go out and you can't. I really get that. I can see that. Thanks for letting me know. You are feeling so frustrated right now. And notice I'm not saying that with a very low, kind voice. I'm actually trying to match the mood and the frequency and the intensity of what I'm experiencing in the moment. Or it could be, I can see this is so hard for you right now. I can see you're really angry about all of this, and you want this to change and it can't change, and you're just feeling really powerless right now. I get that. I can see that. I'm wondering if you're feeling really sad right now because you just seem really down. And I've noticed that your body is doing this right now. You just seem to be much more closed in. You seem to be much more quiet than usual. If we can just name what we can see, if we can bring it out into the open and use words to describe what we can see with our eyes, what we can sense in the room by presence, that is really going to help the other person to feel seen. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to change my actions or I'm going to change what I'm thinking about something as a result of what the other person is feeling. But it just means that they're going to feel met. They're going to feel that somebody has connected with them, that somebody has seen them. So I'm going to still hold my, stand my ground. I'm still going to do what I was going to do. But it doesn't mean that I can't communicate that I've seen and I've heard and I have tried to understand where they're at right now. I've communicated acceptance to this person, whether it's an adult or a child. And so I just like to encourage us all to kind of strengthen that part of us, that part of showing another that they are seen. I mean, just how validating will that be at this time, to feel seen? And I just want to finish by reading you a quote, like I like to do. This is from another of my favourite books called The Velveteen Rabbit, and it's by Marjorie Williams Bianco. "Real isn't how you were made," said the Skin Horse. "It's a thing that happens to you. when a child loves you for a long, long time, not just to play with, but really loves you, then you become real. Does it hurt? Asked the rabbit. Sometimes, said the Skin Horse, for he was always truthful. Let's get stronger at being real during this next week. Stay safe, stay strong, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye for now.